Hello again. Now, as some viewers might know, I am a prolific writer of westerns, not only under my own name, but also a bewildering variety of improbable pseudonyms: Brett Larson, Harriet Cade, Jay Clanton, Ethan Harker, Fenton Sadler, and Jethro Kyle, to name but a few. You have perhaps seen this pulp fiction in the local lending library with garish colours like this. Here we are. Bad Man Sheriff, that's a classic. Incident at Confederate Gulch, also good. Yep, I'm sure you've all seen this. It's mainly old people that read those books. Because of this, I have a particular interest in the Western industry, whether books, films, or computer games such as Red Dead Redemption. So it was that I viewed with interest the inevitable arrival of the first black Western the other day, a film on Netflix called The Harder They Fall. I assume that this is a nodding reference to the 1972 Jamaican film The Harder They Come. Had Jimmy Cliff in it. Some of you might have seen it. Damn good film. I give a link to information about The Harder They Fall in the description to this video. The thumbnail shows 4 of the actors in it. It is directed by a man who calls himself Bullets, and he is also black. I'm assuming, by the way, that Bullets is probably a pseudonym rather than his real name. But there. Now, I can see a few difficulties which people might have with this film. The first is that those of us that grew up watching Gunsmoke and Bonanza on the television and Clint Eastwood as a man with no name at the cinema will find the sight of black cowboys and gunslingers a little disconcerting. As with so many other periods in history, we often gain our knowledge and piece together a picture of historical times not from scholarly works or school textbooks, but rather from what novels we read and the films we see. We do this with Victorian London, for example, which is why many of us imagine 19th century England to be inhabited by working class people who bear a strong resemblance to the Artful Dodger from Oliver Twist. For this reason, having been raised on a diet of television programmes and films of the Wild West in which there were no black people at all shown, we might find something a little jarring about a film where black people are the chief characters. In fact, in real life there were black marshals and cowboys, but they were few and far between. Looking at photographs from the period will soon tell you that such people were the exception rather than the rule. I have many books, of course, about the West, because I need to research it. I've got various old weapons as well. I have to make sure that I get things right for the books. Here, for example, is a photograph of a black lawman. Can people see it there? It is unusual, but not wholly unknown. This is my own problem with the new film, that having only black characters playing prison guards, lawmen and criminals is unrealistic. So too is having women in the lead roles, particularly black women. Still, the truth is that most modern westerns, including my own, are fantasies. That's all they are. They're simply works of imagination. Why should we not make them fantasies peopled by black people rather than whites? I'm sure that this film is no worse in that respect than any of my books. I think it's just that it has come so soon after the 2 BBC thrillers which feature all black casts, and so I find it a little annoying. It is clearly the beginning, though, of a trend, and I can see that this new film, and also thrillers like You Don't Know Me, will be hugely popular with African Americans on the other side of the Atlantic. The new Lord of the Rings series, which will be appearing on television next year, also has many black characters in it. And my own feeling is that this is a battle which has now been lost and shows us what the future holds for the entertainment industry.